Hi, am I back? I think I am. Okay, so I got my little sinuous thick edges with numerous opportunistic little platforms, and I'm gonna hit some of them because I'm not trying to make a turtle here, I'm trying to make a point. Went into the center and hinged, don't care. Went into the center and hinged, don't care. Flip it. We're being opportunistic. Ran past the center and semi-hinged, but really kind of feathered out, so yay me. I don't know if you noticed, but that one I beveled at an angle. I do a braid at angles to try and create, you know, the platform angle I want, because it works. There's a nice ridge there. That one actually ought to feather out right over in there somewhere. Maybe. It feathered, but it went deep, and you say, well, oh man, you went too deep. Well, not really, because see, my point is still there. I need to go deep at some point on these things and get enough thickness off this sucker to where I don't have to try and do it with an Ishii stick and completely ruin up all of the flake pattern. Actually, I guess I wouldn't call it a flake pattern, but it's percussion flakes. Well, that one I felt like it was going to blow through my finger. See, some of these are running and they're stopping like over here. So on something that's light and small, to be running percussion flakes almost overshot is good. It's cool to be able to do that, because you know you can really just at the last minute do some fairly amazing thinning. This is real thick right in here. Can you see that? It's like almost ½ inch thick. So I'm going to try and with one strike do a big deal here. That flake ran to there and lowered it quite a bit. I really hate taking so much time on this kind of stuff when I'm on the video, because I'm wasting your time. I mean, I'm having fun, but you're just trying to keep from doing your work. I'm kidding there. Oh, that was such a nice flake, and I didn't even save it or show it up or anything like that. That flake was really cool. Man, I hope this focused. Are you focused? Can you see it? It's a cool flake. I'll probably end up ruining it with pressure like I usually do, but oh well. I'm definitely not making any attempt to stay on one face or the other. I'm just opportunistically looking at these and going, okay, you know, which can I hit which way, and then I look at the face contours and say which way I go. Oh, remember these things I said I hinged it and I didn't care? Well, now I'm fixing to unhinge it. So the hinges are gone. And I'm not talking about support as much as I was yesterday. That don't mean I'm not doing it. I'm supporting it at the front with pinch all the way in the back of my hand and pushing it into my hand down here. Well, that's not working, and part of the reason it isn't working is I haven't filed my, there you go. I haven't filed my point recently. It gets chewed up. And when the point gets chewed up, it doesn't take flakes as well or as strongly. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but that face is starting to look kind of nice. You know, it's fairly flat and it doesn't have a lot of problems with it or anything. Not too bad. Sending out okay. I'm kind of starting to have my after lunch lag. You know, it's so nice to be retired in that it's not like it's exciting, but I no longer have to worry about, oh gee, somebody I work with might see this video and think I'm an idiot. Don't care now. Well, this is where I could mess up if I kept trying to hit them, because I need to do stuff in here and it's all right at the center line. So I need to turn that edge again. But when the point gets all chewed up, you definitely don't want to use that like that if you're going to try and do anything important. If you're trying to take an important flake for some reason, and you especially don't want to try and flute it with that. If you're trying to do a flute, you dress that point every single time on that punch before you try and do a flute. Because you get one shot at those things most of the time and you want it to go right. Although I've done a lot of multiple flutes. But sometimes, you know, when you do that, you got to lose width, so. I mean, lose length when you redo them. Sorry, in St. Louis. You know, I still have enough width left. What time is it? 8 minutes. I'm gonna try and pressure flake a little convexity and regularization onto the base of this thing here, and see if I can just throw a flute or two into the video on this stuff. Because, like, why not, right? The main thing to do with the pressure flaking, I've got a double-ended pressure flaker. I've got a, or Ishii rather, a smaller point and a bigger point. I don't tend to keep them super sharp. One of the reasons is I don't like the way the flakes look when they're made with a super sharp one. And so but I've got a big old, the reason my flaking pad is so thick is to protect my hands, because when I first was doing it a lot, closing my hands tighter was making my joints kind of messed up. So I got me a thicker one. It's really easy to do convexity. All you do is you just bring your edge back closer to the center line and it automatically tends to shorten your flakes. I got to try and regularize this back end a little bit. Trying to think what to say about pressure flaking. The reason I can get away with using as big an opening on my pad, as big a notch as I have, is because when I push, I'm pushing down the face. I'm actually trying to flake to the middle of the face. I'm not pulling this way, I'm pushing down. You know, you point the thing kind of backward, you scoop into it like you're scooping ice cream a little bit. And it doesn't put the bending forces on it. So really, as far as, and of course, you know, hey, I'm using stout rock. I'm the first to admit that, but I can't remember the last time I broke a biface like that wasn't like, you know, obsidian or something. With that stuff, you got to be a lot more careful. But where are we at? We're at 11 minutes, huh? I don't worry all the time about getting my faces both set up good for fluting. I worry about the second face that I'm going to flute being semi-okay, because after I do the first face, I can go ahead and afterwards work the convexity a little bit and bring the edges in a little bit and all for the second face. So it's not like they have to both just be ready to go, because you lose a little bit of length anyway on the cleanup from the first one. And if I want to do a gee-whiz flute that runs a long ways, then I use a jig. But if I want to do just a standard Texas Clovis-y type flute that's not super long or whatever, all I consider that is a flake on the end that happens to be done off an isolation, so it runs a little better. And I'll tell you something else, thinking of it that way keeps you from getting nervous too. Just another flake. You take hundreds of flakes. And so I got convexity there. I got some convexity there. To heck with it. What time am I at? I'm at 13 minutes. Here's what I want to do. I'll go ahead. No, I'm not going to do that on this one. I'm going to do it on the next one. This is not really a great shape for a finished Clovis, and I'm taking some shortcuts here because I'm just trying to teach, but I should have this more parallel and come down and bring these sides in more and everything like that, but what the heck. They say flute early, flute often. I'm probably not going to flute often on this. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to set up my first isolation and go ahead and flute that and show you